Look, the new course, the Master of Advanced Architecture at ASADI, is on the right track for where the world is heading. It's amazing. You see the advances in technology with AI, with biometric modelling, with all the sort of machine learning type issues. But on top of that, the sustainability agenda, that we have to get on top of this. This course will be world leading. You'll get the best students and they will end up with the best careers possible.
Congratulations, Professor Arjit, and to all the team involved in developing this excellent course in advanced architecture. I think it's going to be magnetic to not only young design professionals and architecture graduates from around India, but architecture professionals from around the world. It's got a really solid mix of theoretical topics and also very, very crucial subjects to do with building systems integration and technical topics that are essential for the practice of building design in the 21st century.
Our built environment is going through unprecedented challenges, and at the core of built environment lies buildings. A good architecture can solve some of the most complex challenges of our time, including climate, environment, social equity, and basic urban infrastructure. A study program, developed through practice collaborations, using best of technology and innovation, is critical for future of architecture studies. I want to congratulate Professor Ajit and entire team at ASADI Kochi in developing this new master's program in advanced architecture. This program reflects some of the most challenges situations in our buildings, architecture, and cities, and brings together a set of solutions and methods where students would enjoy learning in a case-based methodologies. Welcome aboard, and I hope you do take this program with lots of fun and solve some of the complex challenges of our time in architecture in our cities. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm giving a 2-minute buffer time for everybody to just get settled, and our next session will resume shortly. Hello, everybody. The session will start in around 2 minutes time. Just giving a buffer time for everybody to get back to your seats, please. Hello, everybody. If all are ready, I'm just going to start off with our next session. Our first session is going to be on building information modeling, led by architect A.R. Girish Ravikumar. This session will be a 3-part session. So please keep your mics muted. There will be a recording that would be shown across to you. And please also keep your phone on silent. And after every pause, the floor will be open for your question and answers. All right, I repeat once again that this session will have at least 3 parts. There'll be a recording played, and please keep your mics muted and the phone on silent. And every part will have the floor open for question and answers after you view the session. Okay. Now let me just give an introduction about the speaker. The architect Girish Ravikumar. He's an associate director at the AECOM India, leading as a chief architect for Kochi Water Metro, a pioneering water-based public transport initiative for the city. He's also partnered at Design Shastra, a Kochi-based architectural practice with a global outlook. A registered architect in both Australia as well as India, he brings with him an expert of 21 years in both commercial, educational, transport, infrastructure, and high residential projects. He's very proficient in Revit. He seamlessly integrates conceptual and detailed designs, ensuring efficiency across multiple projects. This dual country practice experience enriches his architectural approach with creativity and strong design principles. So let me welcome you. So over to you, Girish. Hello, Girish. Am I audible to you? I can't hear you actually.
Thanks, Azmi.
Yes. Okay, Girish, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. So the floor is all yours. Have you been made the host for the presentation? You can present.
Let me see. Can I share the screen or?
Yeah, you can share the screen and the video.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for your introduction, Azmi, and hope all of you had a brief tea break. And always the lunchtime sessions are the difficult ones. So let's hope that I can engage you all with the various presentations that I'm going to put together for you. So once again, very good morning to you all. I have been part of many BIM presentations like this. And I have also watched many BIM presentations where it is said that BIM is future. But shall I tell you that BIM is already in the present in the industry today? You know, whatever the scale of the project, BIM is being used now. I'm sure that all of you are very much aware of the system. So let's jump right into our topic. It's going to be BIM, challenging conventions and redefining the design process. So let me share my screen of the presentation. Hope all of you can see my screen.
Yes, your screen is visible.
Okay. Sorry, there seemed to be some technical issue. Are you able to hear the audio in the presentation?
But we can't hear the audio of the presentation.
Okay.
So is there a command for post?
No, I can't see it actually.
In the three dots, let me just check.
No. Can you check if it will be audible now?
Can you just re-put the presentation? Maybe you can just. Is it setting in the speakers or something? Now you're not audible, Girish. Now I can't hear you actually. Hello? I can't hear you. Can you hear now?
Shall I share the screen again?
Yeah, please do.
Could you please play? Oh, you do
I want to make certain disclaimers before we begin. The presentation I'm about to show has a lot of its content worked in the Autodesk Revit architecture platform.
Is it audible?
I would like to mention here that there are many other BIM platforms. However, the majority of my work was confined to Revit. So I would like to underline and say that I am not promoting this particular software. So what is BIM? An often asked question. BIM, in simple terms, it makes your work life easy. Like Amir Khan, who says about the definition of machine in the movie Three Idiots. The scene you may remember very well. A machine is anything that reduces human effort, from a pen's nip to the pant zip. BIM can also be defined the same. The objective of this presentation would be accomplished if each of you remembered at least one of the design tools that can be used for quick design optioneering. It would be a personal achievement for me if you applied that tool and impressed your client by curating a palette of innovative designs and achieved a sense of completion in your professional development. I hope you will remember Architect was indeed actually trying to redefine the process. The design tools that I am about to show you does not use complex parametric algorithms. In simple terms, it is to transfer your thought process into a design. Complexity only comes later as post-rationalization. We will be seeing this presentation in a three-part structure. First, what are these design tools in Revit? Second, how the parameters of the 3D forms relate to a physical model. And last, presentation and visualization of the design in live projects. Please remember that this presentation is in a sense a synopsis of a 2-day workshop that has been condensed to 1 hour. I request you to pardon me if I had to rush through certain parts of the presentation. I can only suggest that the facilitators make the recording available for your perusal.
So, am I audible, guys? And the presentation is
Yes, audible.
audible, clear?
Very clear.
Yeah, very, very sorry for that initial technical glitch.
No problem, not a problem.
So, I will be playing the next part of the video is going to be some, actual examples or actual exercises of what we can do in conceptual modeling. So basically, in the beginning, before the beginning of my presentation, there was a brief video put up by Azadi, which was very nice, in which there was a particular mention about the sculptures becoming curves and the geometries becoming, sculptural. So I take that statement as a cue for my presentation also. So what you will be seeing now is examples where we are actually trying to explore some conceptual form modeling. So let's get back to the video. Azmi, should I close this or what is it?
You just have to switch it on just the way it was working before. Just resume the.
Let's look into the conceptual massing tool in Revit. So in the interface ribbon, click on the Massing and Site tab, which opens all the options for creating a conceptual mass model. Now, let's look at an example of a simple high-rise tower. Let's open one of the elevations. We will define the total height of the tower by creating an offset of the levels to the desired height. Let's open the 3D window, show the mass, create an in-place mass, pick the rectangle tool, draw the rectangle, and create the form. Let's extrude the shape to the desired height. Now select the form and switch on the X-ray function. This will enable the Add Profile option Place these profiles along the geometry of the shape. By selecting the lines of the profile, the shape of the building can be altered as you like. Now I am going to select the profile and use the Edit Profile option to add some interesting curvature in the front. This process must be repeated for all the profiles such that the geometry looks seamlessly blended. And complete. We can now finish the mass and add the mass floors by selecting all the levels of the floor. We can now create a curtain system by face by selecting the faces that you want to create a curtain wall. Now we can go to the plan view, place a camera and view the tower. Now, let's look at an actual project example. This is a design for a 15-story commercial office and mixed-use building comprising of hotel and apartments located in Townsville, Australia. The project is nestled in the main city of Townsville, located at Flinders Street. Let's see the study models made for this project. You can see the multiple front facade variations done in Revit. The facade was a key selling point for this project as it fronted the busy commercial street. Multiple design options were created considering climatic and site conditions. The facade design was curated according to the function of each floor. The entrance lobby at the street level, the car parking, and the office floors. Preparing multiple option study models allow us to understand the building dynamics and come up with a design option that seamlessly flow throughout the building. The resulting output was stunning clean lines architecture that blend with the overall aesthetics of the environment. The complete form modeling and concept design drawings were done in Revit within 2 weeks. Since the basic model was done using walls, floors, and generic models, changing the floor plans based on the finalized facade was also easily adaptable and took very less time.
So that was actually a project in Australia, as I explained. So you can see the relevance between the tool that I showed you initially and the live project that just finished now.
Shall I just ask if anybody wants to ask the questions? The floor is open. If anybody wants to ask a question as to whatever has been done so far, you can even put it on the chat box so we can take it up even later. All right, I think we can resume, Girish.
Sure. So let's go to the next example. Azmi, is it audible? This
It's not yet shown up yet.
Okay.
It's just taking time to come online.
Right. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm just going to redo the present. I'm just going to bring the presentation up again.
Yeah. Oh.
I was suggested a solution to overcome this buffering issue. So I'm just going to try that.
All right.
Okay. Is that okay now?
You'll have to play the button, please.
Yes.
This project is a design of a
Yes,
multi-purpose
give me
hall with amenities within an aquatic center in Australia. This example shows how the platform has the capability to show the same conceptual form model in a drawing format also. The sheet setup has a key plan and a ground floor plan showing basic design considerations like air movement, access, and views. The built form is shown in an extruded manner to suggest the simplicity with which the actual construction would be possible, even though at first glance the building geometry looks complex. The building has been carefully designed to show how a rigid cube form can be blended with the free-flowing form in a rhythmic manner. Multiple form options were proposed, keeping the floor plan the same. Revit massing model is the tool that has been used in this project. Remember, these are initial concept design drawings given to the client, so a level of simplicity has been maintained in the sheets.
So those are the two examples that attribute to the first exercise that I showed you. Basically, the point is that, keeping the model as simple as possible helps you to have more options worked out for the client, or more design options. So with that in mind, let's go to the next exercise.
Let's look into this example of another conceptual high-rise tower model. We will begin by setting up the levels up to the desired height. Open the massing tab, in place mass, and select the rectangular tool, draw a rectangle, select the rectangle and create form. Now pull the arrow, snap to the level. Let's use the X-ray tool again and add the profiles. Now let's select one of the profile. Use the rotate tool to rotate it to a desired angle. In this case 21 degrees. Let's select the other profile and rotate it to another angle such that it gives a rotating twisted effect. Let's do the same for the top profile also. Now we'll finish the mass. Let's add the mass floors, select all the levels and click OK. The floors are done. Now let's select the curtain system by face. Select the faces where you want to add the curtain system and create system. Now the curtain wall is ready. Let's open the floor plan, create a camera angle and view the tower.
So that's an example. That's a live exercise for making a rotating twisting tower. So we will see some actual live projects that I had done using this conceptual mass modeling tool.
These are the concept massing study model of a rotated tower located in Dubai. The tower was designed as a multi-million-dollar apartment complex with a mall for premium brands forming the base of the tower. The study models were done in Revit using the conceptual massing tool. The facade fabric is an engineering innovation using the system of self-supporting columnless diagrid system. The glass facade wrapping over the diagrid was made from a curtain system biface tool. The diagrid system itself was created from a parametric Revit family template that followed the shape of the mass to create the structural system itself. The result was a stunning architectural marvel that left a lasting impression on the spectators. The fabric served as a wraparound the functional areas of the building, as well as providing the building an aerodynamic shape to withstand the severe dust storms in the area. This development in the Middle East comprised of designs for multiple high-rise towers, including a cultural center and hotel. including a cultural center and hotel.
I have to interrupt. I think somebody's mic is on, or please put it on mute. Yes, you can play, Girish.
That's not mine, right?
No, I don't think it's yours. Somebody else's mic was on. So you can replay, please.
Yeah, I'll just replay from. Okay. So basically, that first tower, it is actually, as the video explained, it was, I had shown some study models of what we made for the rotating tower exercise. And the engineering was done by Arup Consultancy. They had proposed this diagrid system, which is actually a self-supporting. I will, in another video, I am explaining what this system actually is. And this I have used in a project in Kochi also. So as we go further, we will look into those as well. So let's look into few other towers, high-rise towers that I had designed in for the same project, and using the concept mass modeling, rotating profiles, various other tools have been used.
I just have to put forward, there's a question right now from Anand TK. He's asked one question: what are the practical issues encountered in developing a detailed architectural model from an early stage Revit massing study? I'll repeat the question. What are the practical issues encountered in developing a detailed architectural model from an early stage Revit massing study, and how can these be resolved to maintain design intent and accuracy?
Thank you for that question. Actually, I'm kind of having a different approach to that question, because compared to the conventional SketchUp and other tools that we use here, where the model is a redundant model, and that is the 3D model that we make is a redundant model. Basically, SketchUp is using a surface modeling tool, whereas Revit actually uses parametrics to, parameters, so to speak, parameters to create 3D models. So walls exist as walls, floor as floors, roof as roof. So basically, when you are doing the concept model, make sure that even if you are doing the concept model, you make sure that the wall, the floor, and the roofs are brought into the concept model. And this way, the problem of having this detachment between the concept and the detailed design can be reduced. Of course, for a model like the rotating tower that I just showed you, we had to actually, take some of the parameters in AutoCAD. However, most 90% of the dimensions and the floor plates were actually produced by Revit itself. Does that answer your question? Or is it putting a different thought in you?
Anand, if you want, you can. Yes, he's given a thumbs up. It's answered his question.
Thank you.
We have a next question from Basil. He says, from your experience, how do you balance Revit's precision with design flexibility during conceptual stages? How do you balance Revit's precision with design flexibility? That is his question. Basically for conceptual stages.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a great question, actually. I used to always wonder about this one as well. So there is a wide notion that Revit is very rigid, but I have worked in this platform for nearly 15 years, and I can only tell you that I use this software right from schematic stage to construction documentation stage. So in fact, it is actually very flexible. You would have seen in one of my previous models of that Flinders Street in Townsville that I had done the office tower and the mixed use hotel building. You would have seen that many study models were developed by me to option exercise the facade, because the facade was playing a very key element in the design, as it fronted the street, which was a very busy commercial street. So it had the sellability point of view, and also your building dynamics like heat gain, cooling, and etc. So we had to do quite a bit of option exercising in that. So I found it very flexible in that sense. And then once the finalized model was ready, we could easily transform that into a detailed design model.
All right. Thank you. That's okay. We have one more question. It is from Siddharth from batch 9. What is your opinion about using massing and parametrics from Rhino into Revit? Or will it be better if we use Rhino inside Revit for better workflow? So his question is again, what's your opinion about using massing and parametrics in Rhino into Revit? Or will it be better if we use Rhino inside Revit for better workflow? Will it be considered as BIM? That is his question.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Actually, Revit has inbuilt parametrics in it, which I'll be showing you. I'll be briefly touching that. But of course, this platform has limited time, so we cannot get into too much of Revit parametrics. There is a video upcoming where you will see one of the parametric curtain-based, pattern-based family, which I use for making facades, walkways, etc. So basically, Rhino has its own advantages actually. But let me tell you about Revit. I have not used much of Rhino platform, but as far as Revit goes, the parametrics within Revit allow you to take the model further into the detailed design, because every information is actually embedded in the family itself. So I find it very easy to use parametrics within Revit.
I hope that answers this question. And we have one more question, and then we'll carry forward after this question to the end of the presentation. So I'll just take that question also. It's from Basil, and he's asking, how do you handle version conflicts and compatibility issues? So version conflicts and compatibility issues when teams work on different Revit releases. So we have lots. So how do you handle version conflicts? So that's his question.
Actually, that's a great question because this must come from a person who has actually worked on multiple versions. So in corporates where I have worked, we try to, there are multiple releases. So client's requirement varies, and when we are sending it out for internal coordination also, the version might have a conflict. So what we do in this instance is the options are very limited, because as you are already aware, Revit cannot downgrade the file. So once upgraded, the file is going to remain in the latest version only. The only thing that we can do is convert it into IFCs and import it back import it back into the versions and explode that model. So this is one thing that I have not tried much, but I always try to keep the versions the same.
Okay, that's about it now. So I think we can resume the presentation, and then we'll take all the questions at the end of the session.
In the Middle East, comprised of designs for multiple high-rise towers,
just a second, somebody's mic, please put it on mute.
I think I have a...
This mic is on. Please put all the mics on mute. Girish, you can play.
Cultural Center in Revit using the
Cultural Center was modeled in Revit using the generic models categorized in the high level of modeling complexity, as it used multiple design and external software.
Asmi, let me
Just switch it off and on. Maybe it'll work again.
let me mute this the volume in this one.
Yeah, probably that is okay.
And then we can just see the
modeled in Revit using the
Cultural Center was modeled in Revit.
This development in the Middle East
am I audible?
comprised of designs for multiple high-rise towers.
Comprised of
Yeah, I think it's on. You can just play it on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to mute this.
designs for multiple high-rise towers.
I think there has been
Cultural
some
Center was modeled in Revit using the generic
Cultural
models
Center
and
was
SWIP
modeled in
blend
Revit
tool
using the generic
in the
models
modeling
and
platform.
SWIP blend
This
tool
project can
in
be
the modeling
categorized in the
platform.
high level
This
of modeling
project can be
complexity
categorized in
as
the
it
high
used
level of
multiple
modeling
design and external
complexity,
software
as it
tools
used
to
multiple
achieve the
design and
desired
external
design.
software
The
tools
office
to
tower
achieve the
can be
desired
related
design.
to the edit
The
profile
office
tool.
tower
Located
This
in
is
an
a resort
interesting
project
site
in
in
Oman,
between a lagoon
located
and a
in an
cliff.
I don't
interesting
know, but
It was
site
an
in between.
twice it's being heard again. Somewhere one of the mics has to be switched off, sound off. Okay, now just play.
Are you able to hear my voiceover?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. It's just it's coming as double voice when you're playing it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what is wrong with it.
Yeah.
Let me go again. So this is the second project. This is the other project where the project is situated in it's a beach resort, and the site is in between a cliff and a lagoon. So here we actually use the vaulted structure, repetitive arrayed vaulted structure to create an interesting a mass. So what you're seeing is the actual Revit file. So these are the cottages, which was actually, so as you can see, these fins are vaulted fins, which are actually arrayed, rotational array, done in this form. And that centerpiece is actually a 5-story hotel building. So basically, the form was derived in such a way that it resembled a desert flower. And the concept was that during night it shined like a jewel.
Hope you are enjoying the presentation so far. I have got a physical model of the hyperboloid structure. This shape is made of two equal diameter discs connected by rigid structural members. The property of this structure is such that when you rotate the discs in opposite directions, the shape will expand and contract, creating a curvature in the middle. This structure is a symmetrical structure. So this can be related to our twisted tower model, where we use the add profile tool, created profiles, and then rotated the profile to create a twisted tower structure.
So, Asmi, that was the end of my first presentation, first session. I guess we took few questions.
Questions. You can carry on with the next session.
No, we can take the floor for a few more questions.
Okay, the floor is open for a few more questions. Anybody either put it on? Yes, we have the first question here from Dhanush. Dhanush would like to know, could you please shed some light on identification of clashing between services using BIM?
Yes. This subject is actually a very deep one. So let me give you a short summary. Basically, we have multiple Revit models. That is the architectural model that we create. This model is given to the structural engineers. In an ideal scenario, we develop the concept design, we give it to the structural designers. They use Revit structures to actually make the columns as structural columns in Revit. This model comes back to us, and then we combine these two models and give it to the MEP engineers. So they also work in the Revit MEP platform, where you can provide ducts, lights, cable trays, routes, raceways, everything that is available in their tool. And they would complete the model, and it would come back to us for final coordination. So this is where this coordination tool comes in very handy in Revit. So as you rightfully mentioned, there is a clash detection tool. So once you operate that tool, it is going to show us exactly where the beams are clashing with the duct or cable trays, or any structure is going through opening, so on and so forth. So it will basically give us a report, a full coordination report of where these clashes are. And it's a Revit report. So once you click on each item, it will highlight where the clash is in the model. So it is a very intuitive, process of doing coordination. So does that answer your question?
Sir, does that answer your question, Dhanush, sir? Shall I go to the next question?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go to the next question. So you explained the possibilities of using Revit from schematic to detailed. Can you explain a bit on how this can be used in initial stages of design development? This is from Shibli, sir. The possibilities of using Revit from schematic to detailed. Now, can you explain a bit on how this can be used in the initial stages of design development?
Okay. So the initial stages are going to be where you are, we are architects. End of the day, we have to, sketch. We have to create the vision for that project. So the software will not substitute your analysis of how the design is going to progress. So this needs to be done, and then only then you can step into the software tool. So basically, where this software will actually help us with the site analysis is a tool like topography. So it is a very easy tool where you can take the contour map, a points, a file, or a contour drawing, and then easily convert it into a topographical surface in just one click. So this is going to give us a full terrain of your site. So right from the terrain modeling, I'll show you some examples of where I have used this site topography because the site has been very sloped. So I'll show you one of those examples. So in the initial stages, you can use these site tools, massing tools, and create n number of study options for yourself and also present it to clients.
All right. I have a question. How does Revit help in, say, a retrofit project? Because we're not starting from a concept.
Yes.
It's already an existing structure. So how does that help?
Yeah, again, that's a great question, and I have done a fair few of those as well, which I will show you next. So basically, it is a little complex. Unlike starting from nothing, because the canvas it's an open canvas, you can draw anything that you want. But here we are going to have a lot of constraints. So having a very detailed model or a drawing of the existing that is there helps us very much. So there are multiple other tools like photogrammetry, where you can actually take picture of the entire, you can take a complete picture of the surface, and then it will actually combine the surface and make a drawing. So this is a tool that you will come across eventually, and it is widely used in other industries, but not in the architecture industry so far. I always used to wonder that when we go to sites where we have to retrofit, we could simply have a rotating a 3D 360-degree camera and capture, and this can be input into a particular software which does the photogrammetry and creates the surface, and the drawing is already available to you. In fact, the model is already available to you. So using many smart tools like this, we can actually take the existing geometry and then work on the concept of that. Does that answer your question?
Yes, that answers the question.
Okay. So I'm going to show you some actual projects before we go into the next presentation, where we will be seeing two other complex, a little bit more complex exercises of mass modeling. So let me just switch my screen. Asmi, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, we're all able to see the screen.
Okay, so what I have got here is the Revit 2021 platform. And this is a model that I had developed for a school in Australia. It is in Redlands. It's in a place called Redlands. So this again was kind of like an interesting project for me, because generally you will find the roof forms curving in the other direction, but I had come up with this roof form which was curving in the opposite direction, and mainly because it was facing the south side, and there was significant heat gain from this area. So I wanted to create an interesting architecture, at the same time have limited glazing in this side. So this building is actually a multi-purpose hall, which was having a netball court, basketball court. I will show you the actual completed images shortly. So as you can see, this is a slightly more developed Revit model. It's not a massing model, but this is not the final detailed design model also that we use for construction. So I would say that this is an intermediate model, where you can see that this particular roof is not actually the roof type that that we generally have in the Revit tool. Even though it shows as roof, it's actually in place component. So if I go edit in place, so then you can see that this is actually selected as a roof. Once you select it as a roof, it takes in all the properties that a roof has in the software. So you can attach walls to it, and you can take openings, etc., so on and so forth. So this is the dialog box that opens when you edit this particular model. And this is basically a curtain system where most of you would be aware. So I have changed the curtain glazing pattern. So let me show you the completed project. Is it visible as me?
Yes.
So that was the completed project. So that was the roof that was having the invert curvature. All the services were put at the back. So let's look into this project. Is the master plan for the same school. So we worked on the master plan for the school where we did that multi-purpose hall. So you can see that I have developed this complete contour model based on the GIS survey that was given to us. So the site, the massing and site tool and the topo surface creates this particular geometry. So the concept was to actually create an axis within the site so that it would lead seamlessly to all the primary and secondary, higher secondary blocks of the school. Initially, the school did not follow a particular site planning methodology. They had a haphazard way of constructing buildings. So this was our proposal to regularize the. This was our proposal to regularize the overall site planning for this project. So let me show you some. These were some of the images that were taken out of that model.
All this is rendered from.
Yeah. So these were rendered in cloud. So let's look into this next example, which is actually a facade design for a building in Australia. So as you can see, this it's a very basic, simple model that I had developed. It didn't take me a long time to create the scheme for this one. So it was based on a parametric facade, folded facade system. So as you can see, even though the properties say it's wall, it's actually made from a generic model. So you can see that there is 3 folds to this structure. Now let me show you some 3D views. So these were parametric families that were imported into the wall. So this had the whole system was actually a kind of like a facade which had an opening on top. So it not only let the light in, it also let some air, scooping the air inside. So here you can see that the facade has a plain module, and then it had a opening up module. So it served as a scoop for the facade. So this one is actually a little bit more complex site modeling that I had done for the Brisbane City master plan. So this is so the details of the models are not that intricate. However, what was important was actually an accessible glass lift that was actually proposed from a terrain that was very steep. So Australia is very strict in the disability guidelines. So as you can see in this model, I'm not sure if it's very visible. As you can see in this model, the terrain actually slopes very steep here. So people who were on the wheelchair in the walkway underneath this, this is the express highway. So there was a walkway below. They were not able to get to the main urban square of the city. So this road is the main urban square. That was the library building. So this was a quick scheme that I had done to show the terrain, how it sloped, and modeled some, very quickly modeled some of the existing buildings just to show the client the context. So, it was done maybe probably in one day or something like that. And this complete road network was shown to them just so that the client understands it more clearly. Let me show you. Yeah. So, Azmi, you had asked about how does it work in retrofit projects? So this one is for you. So this was actually a full retrofit project, wherein this particular wall that you see was an existing multipurpose hall, and the client wanted to make a further extension and also take some of the multipurpose hall within. So we had a double trouble. So we had to actually extend this building and also use some of this existing building for the new facility. So some classrooms were done in this overall area. So as you can see, we had worked on the basic model and developed the schemes for this. So let me show you. So these were the concept design sheets that were made for the client. So showing some of the elevations of the new development and the existing building. So you can see that the proposed new works and the existing. It's a very simple scheme and presented in a very simple manner. The time taken for doing this project was, doing this was probably 2 to 3 days.
I do have a question. When you get those retrofit drawings, do you get the model and then you retrofit, or it is like CAD'd and brought in?
Yeah, they always have CAD. So we have to develop the model. So we need to have that patience and understanding of the existing site. I find it a good exercise to always understand the existing context also. So you would see in all of my project that I go about modeling the context very extensively. So this is one of the, so as you can see in this red lens also, I have modeled this, parts of the building, which we are actually not proposing anything, but still, I like to get the context completely modeled in the software. Okay. Let's go to the, Azmi, let's go to the next part of the presentation.
Yes.
So I was told to drag and drop this in Chrome. Azmi, is it audible?
It is audible. Play.
Okay.
No, I think we can't. Not yet.
Sorry?
Can't hear from the video.
Can't hear?
No. Just play it again.
Let me see if I have anything on mute or unmute. Let me present it again. Just let me know now. Are you able to see the screen?
Screen is visible. Screen is visible.
Let us see another type of modeling process where we use multiple profiles to create a shape. In Revit, let's open the plan view and create reference lines. We will now name the reference planes as 1, 2, and 3. Let's draw sections along each reference plane. Copy the sections. However, the last section needs to be flipped to the other side. Let's open section 1. Open the in-place mask. Select a spline and select the reference plane as reference 1. And let's draw the shape. Let's select section 2. Create a spline. Take the reference 2 and draw the spline. At last, let's take section 3. Now we see the reference plane, reference 3. Let's draw the spline and complete the spline. And switch to 3D view, select all the splines and create form. Select the form, click on divide surface. This will show us the UV grids where we can select the number of UV grids. Make sure the pattern is set to no pattern. Let's open a Revit family which is the metric curtain panel pattern base. Check if the family is set to rectangle as the tile pattern grid. Let's set the drawing plane and select the model line and draw a circle. Select the circle and create the form. Let's select the form and attach a suitable material to it. Load this form into the project. Under the pattern, select the family that we just loaded, and the template is added form. The UV grids have been converted to the form that we just created in the family. Now, a camera can be added in the plan to view the walkway structure.
So this particular example is basically a slightly complex upgrade to what we saw previously. So as you have seen, the UV grid tool is used, and I had mentioned earlier we can use parametric tools within Revit itself to create the form. So the form can be altered by altering the spline, and the form can be made much more softer than what I have shown in the video by adding more UV grids. So these are things that we can actually play around in the model as we are working on it. So let's go to the next one.
The next project is the Oct Street Railway Station upgrade, a live infrastructure project located in Perth, Australia. The proposal explores an elevated rail option designed to replace a busy at-grade railway crossing. A key design consideration for this option was to create an iconic station that would serve as a landmark and wayfinding element for the local community. As seen in the Revit model, the design is defined by two pylons, which act as the primary structural supports for the elevated platform. This approach helps minimize the number of smaller supporting columns, allowing for a more open and accessible public realm below. The station model was created using in-place components with the surrounding site topography modeled to reflect the real terrain conditions. The result is a sleek, efficient, elevated design that balances engineering clarity with architectural expression. This alternative design explores the underground option for the same Oct Street station site. In this proposal, the visible structure is the entrance lobby leading down to the subsurface station platforms. The design intent here was to provide an equally iconic identity for the community, emphasizing bold roof forms and generous overhangs that convey a sense of scale and permanence typical of major public transport architecture. The facade treatment features randomly arranged shade fins, adding rhythm, depth, and visual interest to the building envelope. The public realm has been carefully designed to balance hard and soft landscaping elements, creating inviting open spaces that connect seamlessly with the surrounding urban fabric. Together, both design options demonstrate how form, structure, and public experience can adapt to different engineering solutions while maintaining a unified architectural vision. The next project is a park structure located in Kochi.
Anybody has any questions, please put it onto the chat as well. I have one. In most of these projects that's been shown, basically I feel it's basically the skin is what is basically developed, and then only the detail is put forward. I mean, that is my understanding. So in Revit, basically, is that the way forward? Like, we don't have from my understanding, it's not the function that is looked into. It's basically how the outer envelope and the built environment, I mean, and the rest of the environment. It's not that going into the integrity of the user experience. Basically, in most of the things that I have seen, it's either the tower, the plates are there, but we're not looking indeed. So that's the way of thinking how it is. Is that the way it should be? Is a big question mark. So that's the question.
That's a very good question actually, and I expected this question sometime during this presentation. Basically, this presentation is only aimed at showing what the concept modeling capabilities of Revit. So, as an architect, the basics of site analysis, functional satisfying the functional requirements, etc., has to be dealt by us. So all these projects, even though I'm only showing one part of it, has all these exercises done prior to coming into the platform. So the sketching, the analysis, etc., has been already done. There was one question in between about the initial phases of design. So this is something that I always use, the site topography tool, to actually get the terrain. So we have a very good understanding of the context. So that is something that I use in Revit during that design phase. So once your overall, mass for which the internal functions have to be already satisfied, only then you can move into this concept model platform. So there are multiple methods of coming into this marsing platform. You can come with a decided idea of what you are going to develop, or you can come with an idea of exploring the options. So everybody has their own way of exploring the forms.
Thank you. Anybody else with any more questions? So you can put it onto the chat, please.
Let me reshare it again. Okay, so the next project that I'm going to show is this park in Vaitla, Kundra Park. So that was a structure that was done for KMRL.
The next project is a park structure located in Kochi. Designed to house an event space, this unique pavilion was envisioned as a playful bug-like form, an attraction for children enjoying the open areas of the park. The Revit model was developed entirely using in-place component modeling. A basic form was first created using the revolve tool, which defined the overall shape of the structure. An offset of the same geometry was then used to generate the hollow interior space. maintaining the light and airy feel of the design. Void form modeling techniques were applied to carve out openings and cutouts in the mass, giving the structure its distinctive sculptural quality. To bring transparency and lightness, a curtain wall biface was applied to form the glass roof. Each panel of glass was given a different color, creating a vibrant, dynamic play of light and reflection, enhancing both the aesthetics and the experience for visitors beneath it. The result, a striking, imaginative space that blends architecture, play, and creativity within the heart of Kochi's urban landscape. This is also a hyperboloid structure, but unlike the previous one, this shape is connected by two discs of unequal diameter. So the properties are same, but the way they expand and contract is slightly asymmetrical in compared to the symmetrical structure which we saw before. This shape can be related to an example that I'm about to show you, wherein we will actually use profiles of different sizes and see how the rotational parameter will give us a form which is very interesting. The next project is the IA.
It's paused.
Yeah. So now I'm going to show you this example of a walkway tower. An example of a twisting tower, slightly little bit more complex than the previous one. Are you able to hear the sound?
Let's see another type of modeling process where we use multiple profiles to create.
Sorry, not this one.
So Revit, open an elevation, and create the offset of the levels for the desired height of the building. Now let's go to level 1. Draw a circle of radius 7 meters, and let's take the center, draw a line, and rotate, array the line. Let's make 12 divisions. Change the rotation angle so that we get the circle divided into 12 divisions. Now, let's draw the facade of the tower. Let's add that into the array group. Let's split the circle into different segments and start trimming the lines. Then we will get a shape like this. Let's create a mask and pick the lines. Now the lines are automatically attached. Let's select the lines, copy it, and paste it to level 4. And let's scale it to 15 meters. And let's make a rotation. The same shape we taken to the level 7, paste it, and let's scale it to 12 meters. And make a rotation. Let's go to level 11, paste the same shape, select the shape, and scale it down to 6 meters. Open the 3D view, select all the geometry, and create form. Now we could select the top profile, go back to the level, and make a further rotation to accentuate the rotation of the tower. Let's copy that to make a twin tower appearance. And the second tower can be slightly a smaller one. Now select the first tower, create the mask floors. We'll repeat the same for the second tower. This time it will be lesser number of floors. Let us select the wall by face. Select the faces where we want to make a solid wall. Select the faces where we want to create the curtain system. And the model is complete. Let's take a camera view.
As we
Yes.
come to the final part of the presentation.
Okay, we'll take up. Any questions, anybody? If you want, just put it onto the chat. We can take it up at the end. Yes, we'll go ahead with the next part.
So I'm just sharing the screen now. Okay, so based on the example that we just saw, I'm going to show you an example, the IIM QSAT campus that is done in Kochi.
The next project is the IIM campus design in Kochi. This building is designed to house the lecture halls and amenities for the executive management program. The Revit model, as you can see, utilizes in-place mass modeling to create the distinctive inclined form of the building. On opening the mass model, you can observe the UV grid divisions, similar to the ones we explored earlier. Each grid surface has been assigned a curtain wall pattern-based family, forming the dynamic facade system. The main structural support for the building comes from a diagrid framework, ensuring both strength and geometric precision. Using this mass model, 4 different facade types were developed. each exploring variations in transparency, pattern, and shading. The form study model traces how the design evolved, starting from basic conceptual sketches, gradually defining floor plans at each level to refine the front facade's inclination. The final angle of the facade was determined by balancing optimal floor utilization with aesthetic expression, resulting in bold and efficient architectural statement for the IIM Kochi campus.
There you can see some preliminary sketches. And, starting to look at the floors, how we can arrange them. And developing the mass. These are again study models for the inclination and the other building geometry. So this project is under construction right now. And see the front canopy as you cross Girish Metro Station, nearing completion.
Hope you have enjoyed the presentation so far. I'm about to show you another hyperboloid structure, which is a variation to the previous two that I have shown you. This shape is not connected by any discs, whereas the rigid members are actually connected by tension bands. So you can see the dynamics of this shape, how it expands and contracts. This shape can be related to the IIM model that I just showed you. This is the principle of diagrid system, where the system actually holds the floor in tension and supporting the floor without the need for any columns.
So that's the completion of the presentation. So what we have seen is 4 different types of exercises, where ranging from a very basic edit profile model to the more complex parametric, importing the parametric families in Revit and making a mass. So with that, I have taken a couple of minutes extra, so I'll leave the floor for any further questions as well.
Can I say something?
Yes, of course, sir.
I think, Girish, I was going through the whole presentation. Now you have proved that you have become a necessity for Asadi and for all the students to become part of the Asadi, the second batch. Congratulations, fantastic. It was really, this thing and what all things we could do better as an architect using your various methods and, BIM and all the other technologies we have done. And the various, actually physical models you presented, 3 of them, each different from, one having equal diameter on both top and bottom, another having different diameter from the top and bottom, and another having no disc at all. And, you are having those columns with the sign. It's all fantastic. I think you will make our students think and design world class models. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajit, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Girish, for actually, I think it was a very interactive session. You have put through a lot of BIM into the making, and like you said, definitely requires a 2-day workshop. All in together in 1.5 hours is really put forward in a very articulated way. So thank you so much. Is any more questions anybody has on the floor? Please just put it down or just put it forward. Otherwise, I would like to really take my time out and say thank you for taking your time out. I know it's been very busy for you.
Thank you. I would like to just close this. Thank you so much, Ajit sir, for your comment and this opportunity mainly. When I met sir, sir told me that he used the word cloudburst. So the limited time that I had and couple of inaugurations that are coming up on my projects, I had done whatever I could. I seek, pardon me if I had to rush through any of the presentations or there were some technical glitches in between, but this is all anticipated. Hopefully we can see in a face-to-face workshop sometime where I can actually bring a lot more attributes in terms of mass modeling and how we connect it to actual physical geometry. So understanding the dynamics between what we develop on software and how it attributes to a physical parameter is something that I always research on and study about. So hopefully in future in a workshop we can meet in person.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Now it's going to be a lunch break and we'll resume at 2 p.m. All right. So everyone can go in for their lunch break and get back at 2 p.m.
The Master of Advanced Architecture at Asadi is on the right track for where the world is heading. It's amazing. You see the advances in technology with AI, with biometric modelling, with all the sort of machine learning type issues. But on top of that, the sustainability agenda, that we have to get on top of this. This course will be world leading. You'll get the best students and they will end up with the best careers possible.
To all the team involved in developing this excellent course in advanced architecture. I think it's going to be magnetic to not only young design professionals and architecture graduates from around India, but architecture professionals from around the world. It's got a really solid mix of theoretical topics and also very, very crucial subjects to do with building systems integration and technical topics that are essential for the practice of building design in the 21st century.
Is going through unprecedented challenges. And at the core of built environment lies buildings. A good architecture can solve some